Hello my YouTube viewers, my name is Ganvious and welcome to the final video of Hey Pikmin. Today is the day that we stick to our tradition where I read the complete Piklopedia and Treasure Hoard. So let's just get right into it. So if we go to logs here, there's a bunch. So it's not just a Piklopedia and Treasure Hoard, but we also have Amiibo. A lot of Amiibo to read through. I got all the Amiibo because you guys really wanted me to read the Amiibo as well. So I got all the Amiibo, all is good now. And I've also completed the Piklopedia because I actually missed an entry without me even knowing. I didn't realize until after the fact, after my video uploaded, I realized I missed it. It was right here. It was this one right here. Whatever this creature is, we're going to get to that. But yeah, I have everything to 100%. I'm going to read off literally everything. Usually I'd stream these, but today I'm not going to stream this because I feel like because of the two screens, it'll make things complicated, and I feel like overall the streaming experience will not be the best. So ultimately I decided to just make this a video that I'll be premiering. So hello everybody in the premiere. How you guys doing? Hopefully you guys are doing pretty good. Can I get a hashtag hey in the premiere chat, please and thank you. And if you remember, use the shocked Pikvious emote after hey. So yeah, because this will be our last hey before I play Pikmin 4. But enough of me rambling. Let's get right into it. But one more thing, if we can hit 20 likes for my Piklopedia read, that would be absolutely insane. Let's just get right into it. Here we go. This is going to suck. I have no idea how long this will take me, but I'm gonna do it. I got my water at the ready, so make sure you stay hydrated, kids. But yeah, let's do it. Alright, so we are going to start with the Pikmin log. Useful information about Pikmin are little helpers on our expeditions. Now, usually how this goes is that I don't voice act, so I won't be voice acting as these characters when I'm reading this, because it just damages my throat and makes it hard for me to read with all the voice acting for like over an hour, so I usually don't voice act, so I'm going to continue that tradition and not voice act. So I'm just going to be reading everything, and I'll be gathering in the information. Alright, let's start with the red Pikmin. What a joy it was to meet these Pikmin again upon crash landing here. Working with them is as comforting as eating my beloved Pick carrots, for whom I named the species. Their pointy noses are a bit carrot-shaped, aren't they? I don't know why that's so funny to me. These particular Pikmin are the strongest of the bunch and make short work of any dangerous creatures. I'm not sure how, but they're also impervious to fire, making them good candidates to send into a hot situation. This might be a while. Can I move you? Oh, if I click on you, you animate. Oh, that's so cool. That's awesome. That's great. Alright. Oh, I can just keep moving on. Okay. Yellow Pikmin. Their ears may be big, but their bones are very light, so they can be thrown to great heights where other Pikmin can't reach. Their other unique strength is the ability to shrug off anything that can shock or zap them. So that's all the information. So I guess you'll know if the up or the down arrow are a different shade of color. So like if I go back, and if it's orange, that means there's another page of dialogue. Blue Pikmin. This variety of Pikmin thrives in the water. I can't see gills on them, but they must be there. Probably. My suit ensures water isn't a danger to me either, but that's not true of the rest of the Pikmin. So I need to be careful. Look at them go! Look at them swim! I love it. Rock Pikmin. Is the stony part the Pikmin's body or just a shell it's using? I suppose it doesn't matter. They're very effective against anything with a hard exterior, but I must be careful not to let them fall on me or the other Pikmin. Winged Pikmin. Those wings aren't just for show. They can follow me even when I hover, or help me if I fall off tall places. I do worry about how much power this gives them. What if they decided to let go? No, Holimar, stay positive. The onion. I call it the onion after the vegetables back on Hokotate. It was there already when I crash landed. It acts as a nest for Pikmin. When you bring a pellet back to it, new Pikmin emerge. We may never know what goes on in there. Who knows? But yeah, so obviously most of this information stuff we already know, but it's just reading everything all together. Red pellet, a flat, round object with strange writing on it. I call them pellets for lack of a better term. They seem to contain something important to the creation of new Pikmin. The one I tried at the Onion made some red Pikmin. This has nothing to do with pellets, but don't red Pikmin give you a warm feeling inside to look at? Sorry if that's an awkward question. You don't have to answer. Who are you apologizing to, Olimar? It's just you on this adventure. Unless you're giving all this information to Louie back at home. Yellow pellet. A pellet for creating yellow Pikmin. I usually find them up high or in places with electricity. Looking at yellow Pikmin never fails to raise my spirits. Maybe when they soar so high, they're taking my mood up there with them. Well, that's wholesome. Blue pellet. This blue pellet creates blue Pikmin. Makes sense. I find them near water a lot, which also lines up. They're as blue as the sky here. I get homesick sometimes, and looking up at the sky helps a little. It reminds me that somewhere beyond that vast sky is my home planet of Hokotate. Poor Olimar. He just needs to be with his family and stay with them. He's been on way too many adventures already. Rock pellet. These pellets found near crystals or in rocky terrain create rock Pikmin. Gray is never a pleasant color to look at, but these pellets are especially troubling because they remind me of all the times my toes got smashed. Oh no. Winged pellet. We didn't find these pellets until late in the expedition, but they turned out to create winged Pikmin. I like this shade of pink. It gives me a fuzzy feeling. Or maybe that's the butterflies in my stomach when I worry they'll drop me. Probably that. Alright, so that didn't really take long at all. That was the complete Pikmin log, and now we're going to move on to the creature log. Thus it begins. This is where it all begins. This is where it all takes forever. Some of these indigenous creatures prey on Pikmin. With a little guidance, the Pikmin can fight back. Alright, let's start from the top. Crumb bug. I'm not going to try to pronounce the scientific term. I'm just going to read the description of the crumb bug. So it is from the bread bug family. Its only move is to walk straight towards you without stopping. Is that so it can eat us or so we can eat it? I think it's because it gets hungry for Pikmin. It has eaten so many of my Pikmin. It's one of the most infuriating enemies in the game, just due to a misclick and its small little hitbox. Oh yeah, you animate, look at you, you're hungry. Yeah, you want that Pikmin, don't you? Yeah, oh, holy crap, twerk it! Twerk it, crumb bug. Hot diggity dog. Alright, moving on. Capeller. It's from the Scarpanid family. It carries Pikmin and high energy objects away somewhere. Back to its nest, I assume. Yeah. Yep. Oh, God, look at him. He always causes issues. I miss dialogue for the Capeller. My bad. Maybe if I keep observing its behavior, I can begin to understand why my wife has a hard time throwing anything away. Oh my God. If your wife catches you taking these notes, Olimar, you're gonna be in big trouble. Makiwi. Its large beak is a holdover from when its kind could fly, but the wings are totally vestigial now. Alright. It spends all its time either eating or sleeping. Reminds me of a certain pooch back on Hokotate. Wait, what? A certain pooch? Oh, his dog! Olimar's dog, I forgot! In the Pikmin canon, Olimar has a dog. Not only is he a family man, but he has a pet dog. Okay, I was so confused for a second there. I'm like, what? Since when do we meet up with a pooch? I have to do the animation at least a couple times. Yeah, almost looks like a fish. Oh, look at him go. Oh God! Oh, what that mouth game do? Bornet. Family Fuzzbuzz. Not many bees prefer isolation, but this one does. It wards off intruders by dropping toxic puffballs on them. I admire its independent spirit, but there must be an easier way to live. Oh, for sure. Animation? Yeah, thrust it! Thrust it! We definitely got some questionable animations here for these enemies. Alright, keep it moving. Crested Makiwi. It's similar to a regular Makiwi in many ways. I can't see any purpose for the crest beyond a distinctive look. Then again, nobody knows what the company president's hair is for either. Maybe that's why he has less and less of it every year. Or it's because he's getting old and bald. That's probably what it is. The crested Makiwi seems very confuzzled, but that's okay. Sparrowhead family, it's the Huntin' Peck. They have a pesky habit of appearing suddenly out of the sky to attack. Indeed they do. They're cute up close though, aren't they? If the SS Dolphin 2 didn't have such an aversion to bugs, I'd want to take it home with me. Really? You want to take that thing home? And he doesn't have any animation, unfortunately. Very unfortunate. You had one job, Nintendo. Male Sheargrub, an enemy that I recognize. The family is the Mandiblard. Mandiblard? This earthbound creature. Earthbound? Give us Mother 3. What's taking so long? Sorry, I had to do the meme. This earthbound creature gave us its wings and legs to live in the dirt. It only comes out to defend its territory. I still can't figure out if it's shy or if it's desperately seeking attention. Do you have an animation? Oh, you do. Ugh, yeah. Puffstock, a classic. The family is the Sporovid. These names are gonna be the death of me. A mysterious creature that likes to pop out of its nest and then go right back in. It's bent on collecting energy-rich objects, but then, so am I, Indeed. Yeah. Look at you jump with joy. Shooting Spiner, female. Okay, this is a female variant. It's part of the Arachnid family. I was startled to learn that all members of this species are born male, but some metamorphose into females as they grow older. On second thought, it's a little embarrassing. I was so surprised. The universe is a big place with all kinds of possibilities I never considered. Who am I to say this one or that one is weird? That is true. You spin me right. Okay, never mind. You spin me right round, baby. There we go. Yeah. If Louis was here, I'd spin him. Anyways, Puckering Bleno. That's part of the Ellipse family. As long as you don't approach these creatures, which travel in packs, they are no real threat. Their big eyes suggest that they have excellent vision, while the puckered lips indicate that they're good kissers. I remember these little turds in the previous Pikmin games, especially Pikmin 3. They were everywhere in Pikmin 3. Eye Stalker Bulbeel from the Grub Dog family. Apparently, the Grub Dog family includes this aquatic relative, which will try to eat anything that draws near. I wonder how many times that's backfired on it. How many acorns that happen to fall near its mouth has it swallowed? Oh my goodness gracious. That is just nightmare fuel. What even is that? I don't know. Large Splurchin family. Splurchin. The SS Dolphin 2 says that this mindless floating creature is delicious on the inside. It hasn't told me how to get past the spikes yet to try it. Shearblug. You have an animation? Yes, you do. Oh, holy hell, okay. That's right, you're like that Droidica enemy. It's from the Mandiblard family. What an odd creature. It lives on both land and water, and seems puffy, but shows spikes when the threats approach. I find myself curling up when scolded as well, but alas, I have no spikes to present. What can I say? I'm a pacifist. Write that down, Olimar is a pacifist. Wide-mouthed Anode Beetle. So yeah, obviously, I remember this enemy from Pikmin 2 and 3, I believe. It's from the Garab Beetle family. Again, I'm probably butchering that, I apologize. This pesky creature loves to generate its own electricity. It prefers solitude and becomes aggressive if provoked. It really couldn't be more different from me, could it? Part of me wishes I could assert myself as strongly as this terrifying monster does. Here we go. Young Yellow Wollywog, or what I like to call them is Wally Toads. I feel like that makes the most sense. But this is just called a young Yellow Wollywog. Look at him go! So he's almost like a tadpole, but not quite a tadpole. Amphituber family. This would seem to be the intermediate stage between a wogpole and a yellow Wollywog. I asked my daughter if she wants to be a pilot like me when she grows up, and she said,
No, I want to be a boss like mommy.
Which is fair. I need to not do the voices. Every time there's voice acting involved, I gotta get into it, you know? Crystalline Crushblatt. The animation? Just nodding. Got it. From the Crushblatt family. It's aggressive while encased in its crystal shell, but runs away quickly if that shell should be broken. That behavior seems familiar. I think I know someone on Hokutate whose personality changes depending on what they're wearing. I'm thinking of either two people. Brittany or his wife. I think it's Olimar's wife. I think that's what Olimar's talking about. Sheer grub. Ugh, repulsive. From the Mandiblard family. Leaves its dwelling hole only to enter other holes. Maybe it wants a breath of fresh air or some sunlight. Or maybe it's looking for a friend. Maybe, just maybe. I'm also looking for a friend. Crammed Wraith. Oh, this is a Wraith? This is a Wraith? What? This is the weakest Wraith in the world of Pikmin, if that's a Wraith. Family Shelter. I see what you did there. This indigenous creature protects its soft innards with a hard shell. All the best food is crunchy on the outside and chewy on the inside. Does that mean this creature is delicious? If only Louie were here. Yes! We need to find Louie. Louie's starting to grow on me. Sure, he's a pain in the ass, but how can you not love Louie? If someone sends me a Louie plush right now for Fan Mail Friday, I will destroy it. I mean, no, I won't. Why would I do that? Seed bagger. I would never trust something called a seed bagger in my life. These timid creatures are more afraid of you than you are of them. If you can defeat one, it will send seeds spraying everywhere. I don't like the way you're describing this, Olimar. Oh god, I can't wait for my seed bagger to spray seeds everywhere. To spray and spread my seed. Oh, I'm very excited. Good lord, I don't like that description. Quite a send-off. Oh god, now that's a happy ending if I ever heard of one. Scudder Chuck. Animation, yeah, look 'em go. It's from the Heevil family. Its main offensive maneuver is to throw the crystal on its back. Without that crystal, it is defenseless. I have hypothesized that the males carry rocks and the females carry crystals, but I don't have any evidence to back that theory up. Grab it! Just grab it! It's from the Jellypur family. The wings on its back are decorative. It can't actually fly. Its powerful legs give its jumps some hang time though. My jumps, meanwhile, are not worth mentioning, but the jetpack on my back does let me fly over the short distances. I wonder if it's jealous of me for that. Oh god, you. I don't like this thing. Fire Flinger Groink. I don't like any of the Groinks. Oh god, they're a pain in the ass. The family is unknown. Okay. This creature has undergone extreme evolution to the point that it's now half mechanical. I didn't even know it was half mechanical. It shows no mercy to any target in sight. Can we really call this a creature, or is it more of a weapon? It pains me to see that this is the direction evolution is headed. I'd always hoped to become gentler, not more vicious. Dang. That one was dark. That was a dark entry. Flatterchuck. It's from the Heevil family. Habonk. Yeah, wakey wakey. No, you just blink your eyes? Okay. It sleeps flat, blending in with the ground, and will only move if something walks across its back. At this stimulus, it leaps high into the air. It's difficult to say who's to blame when this happens, the Flatterchuck itself or the one who stepped on it. Both are equally liable. Shooting Spiner. Okay, this is the male version. It's from the Arachnid family. Usually it's content to dangle from the ceiling, but if you approach, it will fire poison clouds at you. This one looks much more drab than his female counterpart. I can relate. Spore Grub. It's from the Mandiblard family. A mutant variety of sheer grub that lives in certain types of grass. It guards its territory with bursts of toxic gas. I've noticed similar behavior in my dog back home, but it takes much less to set Bulby off. Who is Bulby? You gotta show me Bulby. Who is Bulby? We gotta see Bulby. Red Bub Limp Family Bublimp. These newborns are so fragile that one touch will kill them. They grow by absorbing water on the ceilings. They are sturdy as a raindrop and every bit as dangerous. I don't think you really... Alamar, I think you're a little confused. Starnacle. I get it. Yeah, no, I understand because it's like a star barnacle. It's part of the Shellisk family. This mollusk-like creature arms are long like an octopus's, but tough like a starfish's. They withdraw when struck. The Esses Dolphin 2 says he gets anxious at the sight of it, but I know better. Those thin gossamer arms are a real delicacy when properly prepared. I bet. Oh, okay, goodbye. Gonna do something else? No? Alright. Oh, there you are. Okay. Elongated Crushblat. I remember this guy. Holy hell. That was probably easily one of the most terrifying enemies, because it was so unexpected. And just look into his eyes. Like, good God. And you can see the Pikmin right next to him for size comparison, which is insane. It's part of the Makiwi family. Despite the name, it's a closer relation to the Makiwi. It is docile in nature and does not attack deliberately. Right, you say that now. My guess is that its long legs evolved to grant it access to food in hard-to-reach places. It's the abundance of convenient food the reason my own species have such short, stubby legs. Almar acknowledges his stubby legs. Electric Spectralid. It's from the Floaterby family. It prefers to live in dark caves, which is odd since it generates its own light. Beware of its electric tackles. Thought I was about to say tactics. If only it could be tamed, it would go over well as a house pet. Imagine having a faithful companion that could also light your home. Oh, look at him go. Spiny Capeller. Did we go completely around? No, this is the spiny variant, right? Yeah. No, we're still going. Okay. I thought we were done for a second there. Part of the Scarpanid family. This seems to be a subspecies of the capeller that's grown spikes all over its carapace. It's well armored, but ironically can no longer carry seeds. Let that be a lesson that greed never gets you far in life. Yeah, Louie! You idiot. That's a lesson for Louie right there. Flying Spotted Jelly Float. It's from the Jelly Float family. Most of the time, it floats peacefully in midair, but will not hesitate to squish any threats. My wife has a similar mama bear quality to her. Aww, that's just cute. Yellow Wollywog, or Wally Toad, as again I like to call him. So this is the OG. This is your average Wally Toad. It's from the Amphituber family, or whatever you'll call that. If you don't disturb this creature, it will leave you alone as well. Bullcrap! Did you see what happened in Pikmin 2 and Pikmin 3, but more so 2? Oh, it was the worst in Pikmin 2. Once bothered, it uses its powerful jumps to attack. I can sympathize. I've known people in my own life who lash out whenever anybody tries to wake them up. Probably either his wife or Louie. Fire Flap Bulborb. Wait, that's a Bulborb? I thought I'd read the name wrong for a second. Yeah, I can kind of see it. Okay, that's a cool-ass Bulborb. And it's from the Breadbug family. Okay. This evolved fiery dwarf Bulblex has taken flight, it seems. It rains down flaming chunks of desiccated skin, an attack as effective as it is disgusting. Though given the nature of its projectiles, perhaps it doesn't mean to attack at all. Yeah, I'm not buying it. Alright, Oh! I thought I was going to say Fiery Blowhog. Fiery Blowlet. So it's like a cub. It's a mini Fiery Blowhog from the Blowhog family. Some emit long jets of flame, while others discharge volleys of fireballs, like mile runners versus sprinters. Fiery Dwarf Bulblex from the Breadbug family. This creature's back is perpetually burning, so it leaves a trail of fire wherever it goes. I wonder how those bulging eyes keep from getting cooked sunny side up. Now that's a matter worth researching, for sure. Could do anything? But yeah, no, the Fiery Dwarf Bulblex, there are definitely menaces in this game for sure. Electropede from the Scarab Beetle family. It creeps along walls and ceilings in the dark, generating the electricity it uses to zap away threats. If I could get a bunch of these and harness them for a power plant, I'd be richer than the company president. That is for sure. Ugh, look at him go. Ugh. Fire snout beetle is from the lithopod family. It emerges from its burrow to spout fire. Why does it do this? Some things, evidently, need no reason. Yeah, that's for sure. Still pretty cool, though. Fiery young yellow wollywog. Alright, that is a mouthful. From the amphituber family. Somehow, this type of yellow wollywog evolved to survive being on fire. It's a useful mutation, to be sure, but getting there must have been painful. Yeah, look at him jump with joy. Clicking Slurker. I don't like the way he looks. Or animates. This isn't Dickman, pal. We're not playing Dickman here. Why are you the way that you are? I really don't like that. Alright, so the clicking slurker is from the Umblota family. The warm air trapped within its body keeps it floating. From the air, it drops its long tongue to catch its prey. That's a tongue?! Oh god, I'm not buying it, but sure. On a totally unrelated note, why the feather on its head? Is it for attracting a mate or something? We're not gonna question why that tongue is not it, Chief? Okay, that's fine. Stuffed bellbloom from the Pinota family. Or Pinata, whatever you want to call it. Its body is stuffed with seeds to keep it going through the winter. It might drop a few if you hit it, but it might also drop something stuffed with energy. Pinata looking thick! Oh, okay, alright, turn that back around. We saw a little too much there. Or not Pinata, obviously the stuffed bellbloom. I was thinking of the family name, not the actual name of the creature. Puffy blub bug. It's from the Bloather family. The snow makes this creature's habitat so cold that its normal layer of fat wasn't enough, hence the need for its coat of fine hair. It's too big for me to get my arms around, but it looks so warm that I wish there was some way to hug it. Aww. You see, if Louie was here, he'd be finding a way to eat it. Blubbug from the Bloather family. Not only does its thick, rubbery layer of fat insulate it from the ice and snow, it wards off any attack. The only way to get at it is to attack its inner core. It has that in common with certain people I know. It's just impossible to get through to them past their thick, insulating layer of self-regard. Who could he be talking about? These guys are great when they're not spinning into you and knocking you away, but when you bounce on them to get to stuff, then they're fantastic. Oh no, I meant to keep. How close are we? Oh, we still got a whole other page. Yeah, I meant to go hit the next page. My bad. Centipede! Yeah, it's that dragonfly centipede looking thing. It's from the Centipede family. It craves attention and control, as children do. Its back is tough enough to hold some weight without panicking. I envy it as far as that goes. The last time I tried to give my son a ride, I threw out my back. Stony flint beetle. Oh, so that's a flint beetle. Oh, that makes sense now. I knew it looked very familiar. It's from the flint beetle family. Its carapace is as hard as steel. It often uses its strong hind legs to push rocks, though it's not clear why. Is it hoarding them for some purpose? Watching it reminds me that sometimes in life, it's as important to pull as it is to push. I wish I could put that in beetle terms for this guy. Oh god, hi. Adult centipede. Do you do anything? Nope. Alright. It's from the Centifly family. The SS Dolphin 2 says the matured ones travel far from home to find their mates. Love that asks so much effort is the most romantic in my opinion. Next we have the Muggenfly. It's from the Scarpanid family. I notice it hates to let go of the seeds it collects. It must have more mouths to feed back at its nest. And look how teeny tiny a normal Pikmin is compared to it. That's crazy. Swooping Snitch Bug. Probably one of the most hated enemies in Pikmin. For me, at least. Oh, God, I hate these guys. Especially when they lift up not only the Pikmin, but the captains as well. But it's part of the Scarpanid family. Their atrophied wings force them to spend most of their time on land, but they do fly on occasion to steal Pikmin. And people. The Bulborb! Finally, a classic Pikmin enemy. Do you do anything? You just walk. Do you munch? Okay, you sniff. Do you munch? But do you munch? You have the opportunity to munch. You better munch. There's a Pikmin right there. Get him. No? Okay. I'm having too much fun here. Bulborb, part of the grub dog family. The SS Dolphin 2 said it sleeps during the day, but the one I met was awake. I pointed this out, and the ship said I meant during the day on Hokute. After defeating it, we found an object rich in sparklium. It's possible that the creature considers such objects a delicacy. Maybe. Probably. Most likely. Long Water Dumple. Oh my goodness. Okay. Oh my god. Okay, yeah, that's the boss, or one of the boss fights. It's from the Grub Dog family. That's from the Grub Dog family? Pikmin seem to bounce right off the thick hairs on its head, leaving them vulnerable to being swallowed up. It's the terror of the seas. The two glowing orbs on stalks function like eyes. According to the SS Dolphin 2, they are delicious when roasted, but I don't have the stomach to try. Louis probably does. Yeah, I should have brought Louis with you, Olimar. Armurk, part of the creep crab family. Its jelly-like legs let it scale walls and ceilings, allowing it to attack intruders from any angle. No frontal attack can get past the armor protecting its head. But all is not lost. Notice how its rear and underbelly are pink, raw, and totally uncovered? Even the process of evolution can make mistakes. Indeed. Look at that! Look at that! Electric Cottonade from the Cottonade family. A rare creature that attacks together with its family. The children build up electricity around the parent and use it to stun their prey. The parent then sucks up the stunned prey through its straw-like mouth. It's an amazing display of teamwork, like seeing my wife and daughter at work bargaining with a shopkeeper. Oh god. Almar's notes are so random, I love it. Queen Shearwig. It's from the Mandibular family. So other creatures besides Pikmin will act as a unit. I could clearly see the queen giving orders and the soldiers coordinating their attack, but the bond between me and my winged Pikmin won out in the end. Teamwork is at its best when each member of the team has a deep understanding with the others. Ah yes, the good old classic fiery blowhog. It's part of the Blowhog family. It shares a flame-throwing trait with the fiery Blowlit, but the vast difference in its size comes with an equal variance in its firepower. Oh god. The method by which they produce this flame is very interesting, and took a lot of analysis between myself and the SS... what? Are you just you're just teabagging! Are you just teabagging right now? I'm trying to read. It's very interesting and took a lot of analysis between myself and the SS Dolphin 2 to figure out. Sadly, I'm out of space to explain it here. Maybe I'll publish a paper back on Hokute. Go for it, Olimar. I'm sure you can do it. Lurking Slurker, part of the Umbloda family. This floating creature makes its home in humid climates. It attacks by lashing its sticky tongue at its prey from its gelatinous body. Yeah. I wouldn't make a comment again about these types of creatures, but I'm not going to. Once it sticks, the tongue can drain the heat from a target. It's this property of its tongue that lets it turn the lake water into ice to drop as an attack. All this talk of tongues and ice, I'm getting thirsty. The Emperor Bulblex, hell yes. Look at the size comparison to a Pikmin. You can't even really see it anymore. Good god, this is what the Emperor Bulblex should have been in Pikmin 2. Holy hell. God, this brought me back to Pikmin 1, seeing this guy again. Yeah. Okay, it's part of the Grub Dog family. It usually hides underground, but will pop out to strike at its prey. Anything that falls into its mouth gets swallowed, even bombs. Its mouth is so big, in fact, that I was worried it could swallow the SS Dolphin 2 whole. It's a good thing we didn't crash land near this monstrosity. For sure. Jesus. The Leech Hydro, from the Hydro family. Strictly speaking, this creature is only the part that takes over a plant to drain its nutrients. Its host must then wander around to find more food. Yeah, you were... This little bastard was attached to that giant plant that became the final boss at the end of the game. What a shock to see this harmless looking thing emerge from that other terrible beast. Exactly. The only time I was more surprised on this voyage was during my reunion with the Pikmin. And I don't like how it's teabagging. Very weird animations in this one. Berserk Leech Hydro. Normally, this is a harmless species of plant life. We only found out later that it grew vicious because the sparklium converter fell from the ship during our crash landing, falling onto the Leech Hydro as it slumbered. Ah. The influx of energy sent its parasitic urges out of control. I know I'm to blame, ultimately, but I'm glad I could put a stop to it. With the help of the Pikmin and the SS Dolphin 2. Let this final entry end with my thanks to them. Aww. But that's it! That's it for the frickin' complete Piklopedia. So now it is time to move on to the treasure hoard. We are halfway there, but we still got so much to get through. Alright, the treasure log. Treasures we can harvest lots of sparklium from. Find all you can to get us back to Hocotate. Way ahead of you. Loop of beginnings. Can I... Okay, so I can't... It won't do an animation. It doesn't make sense for it to do an animation, but then again, it'd be pretty funny. This was the first object I found after crash landing here. The Pikmin knew to pick it up immediately. Are they drawn to the sparklium it contains, or do they just like picking things up? Who knows? The Pikmin that have been helping me are such trusted allies that I think I'll start cataloging them. Oh, that's awesome. As well as the objects and indigenous creatures I find. I hope my notes are useful someday. Oh, okay, so this is just from the very beginning. Gotcha. Hypno Pendulum. There are Pikmin here. Not only that, but they're helping me collect sparklium. The SS Dolphin 2 says I can control their minds with this if they act up. But I don't see that happening. Song Sewer. The tunnels in this device convert air currents into musical vibrations. This is a harmonica. Isn't that the dullest description of an instrument you've ever heard? Blame the SS Dolphin 2. I'd rather call it a sculptor of wind. Consolation prize. My daughter has started asking for real jewelry. The gleam in her eye as she looked at the stone on my wife's finger was a little scary, but who am I to say no to my little girl? I could have sworn I read this before. Was this in Pikmin 2 or 3? This was somewhere. This is definitely repeated dialogue. Or I'm just going insane. Of course, real jewelry isn't the family budget, but I did get her a very real looking one. If I know her, though, she's too sharp to be fooled for long. I'll have to make some sacrifices then. Ultra sealed aquarium. The picture on this canister leads me to the conclusion that this is a fish tank. The SS Dolphin 2 said that what's inside is yummy to gnaw, which I thought was an odd way to say that. No, Olimar, you are very confused. Peace missile. It seems unbelievable that this planet is host to no intelligent life other than Pikmin, especially when I find artifacts such as this. What became of them? And did they know any good jokes? Unassuming lighthouse. It looks like a lighthouse for small lakes or ponds. The SS Dolphin 2 protested that this can't possibly be useful, but I disagree. The Pikmin are small too, but they've more than proven their worth. Quantum Traveler. My guesses were a huge candle or a small lighthouse, but the SS Dolphin 2 says it's actually a rocket capable of navigating the universe. Then it brushed aside all my questions with superstring theory. I'm not convinced. Constitution Gate. On days when I have to walk morning to night and my feet are screaming at me to stop, going through this gate helps. Its strong magnetic force must realign the flow of iron in my blood, I guess. I just had an unpleasant thought. Was it this strong magnetic force that riled up the Puffstock 2? I'm starting to feel ill again at the idea. Stopped doomsday clock. Analysis shows that this device indicates when the world will end. I notice it's stopped, though. Does this mean the world has already ended? Damn. While I pondered this, the SS Dolphin 2 told me to get back to work, and that our journey isn't over until we get back to Hocotate. It's good to be reminded that my world is still out there. Smile detector. Sometimes I look so haggard and drained when coming back from an expedition that the Pikmin keep their distance and the SS Dolphin 2 seems wary of addressing me. Fortunately, now, I have this device. All I have to do is stand in front of it and I feel the urge to smile. But on occasion, trying to force a smile tires me out, and I'm back to square one. Poor Olimar. Independence Monument. This reminds me of my son telling me that he wants to be an explorer of the cosmos, just like me. It's touching that he looks up to me, but awkward too. I'm meant to be a pilot, not an explorer. That is correct, that is true. Flashy Monument. When I was a little Olimar, I did anything to get attention. I had to have the latest styles. I carried books around that had really long titles. So Olimar was a nerd! Olimar was a nerd confirmed. This mysterious monument seems like a tribute to that little Olimar. Shiny on the outside, empty on the inside. It's better to be shiny on the inside. Man, Olimar is getting deep with all these. Preservation door. According to the SS Dolphin 2, this object provides memory storage for computers, but the more that such devices remember for me, the more I'll forget everything. This idea frightens me. Fortunately, the SS Dolphin 2 is wrong about what this object is. It's a door without a knob. Now, there's something useful. A family could stay safe in their house if no one could get inside. The Spare-O-Sphere. This crystal sphere contains an object that emits dark energy. It's like shovel after shovel of bad memories being thrown in my face. Like the time my wife scolded me, and my daughter avoided me, and my dog barked at me. Ugh. Revenge fantasy. I love this. This seems like a type of memory storage. I don't know how to access what's inside, so I'll have to make a guess based on the artwork on the front. Ice climber. There is an ice climber inside the cartridge. It's an abstract painting of a person with a hammer leaping to strike at a pale, portly man with a red nose. One shudders to think of how the portly man wronged this person to provoke such ire in them. Giga whistle. Some days it's hard to feel motivated. The sound of a whistle will fix that in an instant, though. It certainly seems to work on the Pikmin. So this is what Olimar uses. I wonder sometimes, though, if they feel the same hard-to-explain anxiety that I do when I hear an unexpected whistle. It makes me worry that the president is looking over my shoulder, even when I'm at home. He's always watching, Olimar. Rocket polish. Today I found a full tank of cleaning solution. I'll polish the SS Dolphin 2 until it shines. My most trusted partner doesn't deserve anything less. Yeah, take that, Louie. Postscript. Naturally, the Pikmin have already gotten the SS Dolphin 2 dirty again. The ship doesn't mind, though. Maybe the mud is a nice change of pace after all the void of space. Berserker brush. This is the king of brushes. Hair brushes, deck brushes, and all other brushes tremble in its presence. When angered, it vibrates with a rage and lets loose a high-pitched lowing noise. I don't know if the SS Dolphin 2 made all that up or not, but it was frightening enough that I'm going to brush my teeth very carefully and head to bed. There you go. Attitude adjuster. Sometimes my darling wife will get cross with me for no reason that I can figure out. My daughter does it too. They tell me I ought to know what I did. I'm worried that they're right, and it gets me no closer to figuring out the reason. Am I doomed to bumble officially around women forever? Listen, Olimar, I can relate to you. Do all men have this trouble? Yep. Maybe if I listened more. Unstrung racket. I've never found a tennis racket inside an indigenous creature before. It's heavy, but I can still swing it. Maybe I'll bring it back with me to teach my son to play. Though I'll need to do some work on it first. Work-life imbalancer. This beach chair was designed to help people stay in constant communication with their bosses. Right. The beach chair. What kind of vacation is that? I'm not sure this planet even ever had intelligent life. Says you, Olimar. I'm sorry, but you're lacking right now. Evidence pulverizer. There are so many embarrassing memories. Calling my teacher Mom, sending a mushy note to the president instead of my wife, locking myself out of the SS Dolphin 2, and on and on and on. Whenever those overwhelming memories make me feel like I could shrink up and disappear, I break out this thing to use as a punching bag. It's never long before I feel much better. That's the spirit. To beat the crap out of a little eraser. Yeah, that's where it's at. Handy hand. I'm not sure I believe the SS Dolphin 2 that this thing has hundreds of uses. It's just a bizarre metal hand on a stick. But my son calls his favorite snack his medicine. So it's all in how you look at things, I guess. Okay. Hairy serpent fossil. The remains of a serpentine creature with the hair is still intact. My wife always cautioned me against letting my hair end up like the president's. Quote, caring for what you have keeps it from fleeing, end quote. It's too funny. Greedosphere. The crystal sphere contains an object that emits energy that will awaken one's greed. It seems to have no effect on me, however. I fear what would happen if it came anywhere near the president of our company. Or Louis. Twisty pick. My daughter said she wanted to be treated like her mom, so I got her a fancy dress. She said, no, like mom, so I bought her a toy car to drive. She threw a fit. I couldn't tell where I was going wrong. Did she want to drink alcohol? When I mentioned it to my wife, she laughed and said she wanted you to give her a hug, just like me to get the simplest things all twisted up. Aww, now I get it now. God, the lore and the stories being told in these are just freaking incredible. They're always consistent in the Pikmin games with this, and I love it so much. Conformity enhancers. Each type of Pikmin is unique. Some love heights, some thrive in high heat. but they all have their special qualities. Compared to them, I seem very bland and unremarkable. No, don't say that. The SS Dolphin 2 informs me that I am also unique, having crash-landed unusually often for a veteran pilot. As soon as I find some paint, I'm going to make this ship look as drab as I feel. Unexamined nest. Oh, that's the ocarina. It's the ocarina of time. I recovered this from inside the giant water creature. It's a nest of some kind. I'm too nervous to see what lives in it. I don't need to analyze all of these things. It's not my job. Everyday cell. Everyone wants to be loved by the whole world, but to do that, you have to be as ordinary and dull as this small, everyday thing. All I need is the love of my family, who sticks by me no matter who I am or what I mess up. It's so sweet. Giant rodent skull. It's a mouse! It's a PC mouse. My first impression was that this was a vehicle of some sort, but the SS Dolphin 2 claims that it was once a mouse. I can almost see it. The cranial ridge, the extended jawbone. Yes, now that I think about it more, this is clearly the skull of some enormous rodent. I'm glad I can rely on the SS Dolphin 2 to steer me right. Oh, Olimar. You silly fool. Grown-up dynamo. This might have been a little cell that has grown into a plump dynamo. Remarkable. It makes me think of growing older. Though I hope that when I'm our president's age, I'm not like him at all. He's so selfish. Attention getting logo. I can't read the writing, but the shape and color of the letters are very striking. The sword and shield behind the large, jagged glyph project an air of strength and confidence. Hell yeah. Legend of Zelda, baby. A business or product could do very well with this type of logo. Maybe I should bring it back with me and show it to the company president and give him some ideas. That's just a call out to Nintendo right there. I love that. Snack Vault. The canister looks chock full of sweet treats. The SS Dolphin 2 doesn't like me going near it. Does the ship actually think that I'm going to raid the canister for all that tasty scrumptiousness? No, but Louis will. How insulting! The ship might as well accuse me of wanting to eat all the sparklium that we need to get back to Hocotate. Cheerosphere. The crystal sphere contains an object that emits joy. As I report this, however, I doubt that it works. I miss my family back at home, and I'm alone with these Pikmin are really such nice creatures, and they seem to be devoted to me. I love that mischievous look they sometimes have in their eyes. I'm the luckiest fellow around. That's a spirit. Numerical monument. I read a magazine article on Hocotate once that said the number of planets and species in the universe have been determined, but no one knew about Pikmin before me. So now I wonder this would appear to be a monument to the supremacy of mathematics. But can pure math really explain the universe? Or are there things like the Pikmin this monument doesn't account for? Gigaton bag. In my first week at Hocotate Freight, the president asked me to deliver a heavy satchel. When I arrived at my destination, to my surprise, my wife was there to receive it. It was full of coins. There was a letter inside too, which read, quote, I thought you might like a bonus. Treat yourself to something nice, end quote. That was when I vowed to always stand by the president no matter what. Manifested time container. I knew that light could be a particle, but the advanced technology of this civilization has broken time into particles as well. I don't know how the science of it works, and frankly, I don't care. It's so soothing to stare at the flow of time all day long, seeing and feeling it slip away from me. Dutiful watchdog. This fossilized dog looks ready to attack. I bet it was a great watchdog. My dog Bulby never budges, even when people visit. One friend of mine mistook him for a stuffed animal. Inevitable tragedy. The man this chronicle is presumably about is a very tragic figure. He seems to be simultaneously running up against a brick wall, falling to a fiery death, and menaced by a sort of reddish-white wriggling larva. Oh, that's so funny. With so many insurmountable obstacles on all sides, he can't be long for this world. May you have better luck in the next life, my mustachioed friend. Value band. As I stare at the gem's crisp edges and pleasing gleam, I muse on what value it must have represented to its native owner. A business gift? A type of currency? A precious heirloom? Its reddish color reminds me of love, so it might have been a token of affection. Then again, some Pikmin are red, so it could be important to them. They can't tell me, so I'll never know. Royal Sweet. Once I got to my daughter's birthday party late, she took the present and told me the party was over already, but there would be a makeup one tomorrow. I had to buy a second cake and gift. Oh my god. I got the feeling I was more upset with myself than she was. After all, she did get 2 birthday presents out of it. If only I could have given her this, maybe I'd have been off the hook. Well-loved Gage. Today I explored a cave covered in sparkling crystals, but I noticed they didn't radiate any kind of energy. There must be no connection between their appearance and sparklium. Most of the objects we find that radiate sparklium seem sentimental in nature. Maybe a better name for it would be sentimentium. It's a nice idea anyway. One-way time machine. This machine lets you skip forward directly to the time of your choosing. It sounds familiar. Did we have anything like it on Hokotape? I should set my alarm and get some sleep. Maybe I'll remember in the morning. Metal bagel. Bagels are always nice when they're chewy, but I'd crack my teeth on this metal treat. Besides, whoever left this behind scrapped off all the poppy seeds. People can be so mean. Almar, again, you're very confused. Private castle. It's shaped like a castle for one. Even without a courtyard or servants, a castle is still a castle. Only the greatest and most powerful people have them, after all. I want one. Undamaging javelin. What a strange weapon this is. It helps repair, not destroy things. Simply hurl it into the right part of an object and twist until the thing is fixed. If only all weapons were like this. We'd wage peace, not war. Lopsided barbell. This exercise equipment is missing the weight from one of its ends, which makes it unfit for fitness. Each half of a pair is important to help things stay in balance, just like my dear wife helps keep me on track so often. Maybe I should use this barbell anyway. It'd be nice to be fit as I can be when I return home to her. Whisper broadcaster. This device is used to beam your deep secrets to trusted friends. It also has a dangerous setting. Sharing gossip with everyone all the time. That really seems like the worst feature ever. Well, that's a long word. Metamorphosistern. I once dreamed of being a movie star known for all sorts of roles, but really, I already play many roles. Hokotape freight employee, husband, father, and on my best days, master to my dog. Lifeform prototype. This prototype for a robotic lifeform resists attempts by the SS Dolphin 2 to read its mind. Maybe when we get it back to Hokotape, we'll have better luck at getting at the secrets of this technological advancement. Or maybe that's a terrible idea. What if it's smarter than we are? Oh, now I'm going to have bad dreams. I think I'll just take the sparklium and try not to think about it. Almighty Ruiner. Our president is a titan of business who can cause a lot of havoc. But even he's nothing compared to this device. It crushes, bends, cuts, and pulverizes a flexible weapon of destruction. I must say, it awes me. Bond Impressor. My daughter caught a snake once and was so thrilled, but my wife and son hated the thing. I promised I'd let it go, but secretly I helped keep it in the garage. That was the first time my daughter and I really came together. W Dad. Champion Belt. The 1-2 punch of the electric Spectralid's flurry of attacks and the crested Makiwi's intrusion was a hard fight, but with the help of the yellow Pikmin, I knocked them out. I'm now wearing the artifact I found afterward. It's similar in shape and design to the belts worn by combat sports champions in my youth. This belt tells the whole world I vanquished a mighty foe. It keeps my pants up too, which is nice. Silence Breaker. I'm a quiet man. I don't like too much fuss, but sometimes I get the urge to change that about myself. I went to an office party where they had these and tried one, and it wasn't so bad. Where I went wrong was bringing one home with me. I waited for my wife to surprise her with it, and well, suffice to say it wasn't the only earful I got that night. Sonic Relaxant. The sounds on this tape play in a soothing order, which helps me get some rest when the chirping of the Pikmin or the strange noises from the outside prevent me from sleeping. Distinguished Speaker. The SS Dolphin 2 went on and on about how this device could go on and on. If I had the power for it, I'd lock the two of them in a room together and hold a debate. Inspiration Signal. My son was drawing pictures of me, but after he finished each one, he would crumble it up and throw it away. I thought they were very well done, but he never seemed satisfied. All at once, his eyes lit up, and he drew one with a bushy mop of hair on the top of my head. It wasn't accurate, but he seemed to like it better. Truth to tell, so did I. Quid pro quo yo. No one is truly self-sufficient. We all put in our work and get pay in return. I do my job, and in return I get money and keep my family fed. That's how it works for everyone, even the president. The Pikmin are looking at me like they want something. Missed connection. A veteran pilot like me spends a lot of his life in space. I want to go home to be with my family and my dog, but there are times when my trip home is unavoidably delayed. Many times. My wife doesn't mind, fortunately. Quote, take however long you need to, end quote. She always says, quote, I'm perfect fine here on my own, end quote. She's very supportive in her own way. Zappy safe. This is clearly a high security safe that contains a massive pile of money. I got a huge shock when I tried twisting its 2 dials. And no, I didn't do it to grab the cash. It was all in the interest of science. Of course! For science only, not for money. Sloshy nostalgia. I'm not sure what this contains, but I think it's 100% pure nostalgia in liquid form. The animal on the picture seems so long for bygone days, though it's looking forward to better days. I truly understand how it feels. After all, I think often of the nice times I spent with my family back home on Hocotate, though I'm sure that many are still ahead of us. Ominous Vault. The SS Dolphin 2 claims it's a harmless washing machine with a timer feature, but I think it looks more dangerous and sinister than that. The giant dial, those impenetrable walls, whatever they locked in this vault, they never wanted to come back out again. I hope the SS Dolphin 2 is right and I'm worrying over nothing. Slimmerized cell. This object has lots of energy and a slim shape. When I saw it, I blurted out how much it reminded me of being a little Olimar. Ugh, I wish that I had it. The SS Dolphin 2 overheard me and laughed, but it's no joke. I really would like more pep in my step, just like I had when I was a tot. And now I'm really hungry just from recording all of this. I'm really tired just from recording all of this. I'm really tired for reading all this. How much more do I have? Oh, oh why? Why? Why is there so much of it? There's just too much. Okay. Probable teapot. This seemed like a stately monument, but then I cracked open its lid and caught a whiff of what? It was very fleeting, maybe tea. My theory is that it's a teapot with 2 handles, no spout, and no tea. Tricky one. King's Sanctum. This was an extra majestic room that an ancient king once lived in. What a fancy way to keep out the world. But the SS Dolphin 2 said that's the same thing as a cage. Way to burst my bubble. Personal odor shield. I recognized this before the SS Dolphin 2 told me what it was. My wife and I used to wear something very similar when we would change our son's diapers. I wonder what this world smells like. My suit's helmet insulates me from the atmosphere here as a precaution, so I have no idea. Does it smell nice, or would I need one of these? Nostalgic buckler. I know because the SS Dolphin 2 keeps insisting that this is a skull from an aquatic life form indigenous to the planet. Or it's simply a guitar pick. I think it's a guitar pick. But what it really reminds me of is the shield I used to imagine carrying when I was young, boy playing fantasy make-believe. So that's what I've officially registered it as. It's real now! Yay! Menacing Crusher. We found this object in a place with very heavy rainfall. Some flying jellyfish and bloated frogs try to stop us from picking it up. Do these creatures have an affinity for sparklium? Maybe it's not the sparklium, but something else about this large crushing object that stirred such hostility in the indigenous creatures. Altitudinal Unlimiter. Throwing wing Pikmin put a spring into my step, so I was very excited to find this device that makes me jump higher. I hopped on immediately and have no regrets, apart from the pain in my back. Alien Ceremony. Part of the scene depicted on this chronicle is familiar to anyone. 3 champions, having finished well at their chosen sport, take their places to receive their just rewards. What I don't understand is who they were or what they were competing in. They seem to have large bulbous eyes like some of the creatures here, even stranger. The 3rd prize winner is missing for some unguessable reason. Abandoned Husk. It looks like an indigenous creature, but it's empty. I've seen soul-like things leaving the bodies of other creatures. Did this empty shell once house a soul too? Did other objects we found also once have souls? Where do they go? Who decides which creatures have them? Do I have one? I better get some sleep. I'm running on empty. Primitive saw. This crude saw has seen a lot of use. Its blade is almost completely worn out. I've cut down my share of indigenous life on this planet, and though I didn't have a choice, I'm feeling worn out myself. Aren't we all? Good God. Damn quality egg. I bet this is an artistic work made by an artist. I can't see inside, but I'm sure whatever it's filled with would turn the surface meaning on its head. That's how art usually goes. Mood Slicer. The SS Dolphin 2 tells me that this crafting device lets you cut things whenever you feel like it. So what if you don't feel like cutting things, but have to anyway? Does it still work? It's odd to think of one's mood affecting one's capabilities. Then again, I remember how fast our sluggish president ran when the bill collector visited, so maybe it's not so strange. Vacated baby buggy. Whether an empty baby buggy is a sad sight or a happy one is a matter of perspective. Some people's minds go to a dark place at once, but I see it and I'm glad my children are growing. Tiny jumbo jet. I'm not easily surprised, but this one bowled me over. The passenger seating proves that this planet was host to people smaller than I am. I must be very careful where I walk from now on. No, Olimar, that's just a toy, but yeah. Deluxe something or other. At first I thought this was an antenna, one that was really powerful. And then I thought it was a bathtub built for maximum luxury. Then the SS Dolphin 2 chirped up and said I was just seeing what I wanted to see, and it was a monument of some sort. Still, a monument to what? Withdrawn arm of loneliness. After a few false starts, we identified this as a humanoid robot's left arm. It seems lonely unattached to the rest of its body. I wonder if my wife gets lonely when I'm not around. Instant planetarium. Our sensors indicate that this machine can turn any room into a planetarium. If that's true, maybe it can recreate the blue skies of Hocotate. I know that's not what a planetarium is for, but still. Unbelievable spinner. My daughter gently shook me awake. In the other room, my wife was cooking a homemade breakfast. My son did his schoolwork between bites. Bulby fetched the paper. Welcome, Pikmin. Oh, was it just a very strange dream? I guess it was, unfortunately. Sorcerer's Wand. I can feel the eldritch power in this tool meant to remove obstacles by the force of the user's will. It's fearsome to think about. I'd rather find a wand that would let me peek into people's hearts. That's just weird. Self-reflection engine. When I'm alone and tired from exploring or listening to the SS Dolphin 2, I close my eyes and remember Hocotate, or let my thoughts wander, or try to empty my mind entirely. It's relaxing, but sometimes I still feel restless, and at those times, I look at the Pikmin. They don't need to understand or worry about anything to enjoy life. That's a lesson I could stand to learn. Extended hand of friendship. This turned out to be a humanoid robot's right arm. The SS Dolphin 2 asks, quote, "Am I doing my part as your right hand, Captain Olimar?" End quote. Am I doing my part as your right hand, Captain Olimar? Am I doing a good job? Am I role-playing as your right hand, Captain Olimar? Oh, God. I see why the vast majority of you guys decide to stop watching my content. I'm sorry. I'm just trying to have a bit of fun because my energy is gone. My throat is hurting. My voice is shot. Everything's going wrong right now. I am out of water. I forgot I even threw my empty bottle away. This is a struggle. I had to think about this. Oh boy. This is Dolphin 2 may be a loudmouth, but I wouldn't have made it this far without it. It's as much my friend as the Pikmin are. But how to tell it that without getting a swelled head? Fly Smacker. Its wide frame and solid construction make it perfect for smacking down pesky flies. Oh, is an abundance of this tool the reason I haven't seen any normal-sized flies on this planet? Probably, because it's definitely that, a fly smacker. Retrieving this object from its perch amid blazing fire was especially tricky. I almost sweated through my suit, and a couple of the SS Dolphin 2 circuit boards were nearly fried. Later, the SS Dolphin 2 told me that it never doubted for a moment we'd pulled through because we make such a good team. That seemed out of character for it. Could it have been inspired by the teamwork shown on the object? Creativity Stimulator. This prototype artificial sun barely emits more light than a candle. It's a nice thought, but whatever on this planet invented it clearly had a long way to go with the idea. The Pikmin are quite the inventors in their own right. They can turn anything into a toy. The other day I saw them amuse themselves by taking turns whacking this object with sticks. Shimmering skull. Most bones look alike, but this was clearly a handsome man's skull. You can tell by the way it shines. I think the SS Dolphin 2 is reading too much into the sparkly emits. Scoreless dartboard. Darts was one of many things I tried to impress women when I was young. I got pretty good and hit the bullseye on my wife's heart. Unlike the darts, love never ends. You have to keep playing. Aw, that was sweet. Scallop spring. The clickety-clack sound this makes when the Pikmin jump on it sets my heart dancing. I also like the color. If it was an animal, I believe it would make a good pet. Okay, how much more do we have here? Okay, 1, 2, 3 pages. Or technically 2 pages, because these are only like 2 treasures right here. Alright, how much Amiibo do we have? I just gotta check real fast. Okay. Alright, here's what I'm probably gonna do. I went through a lot of this already. I am honestly extremely exhausted. I can barely talk now because my throat is killing me. My eyelids are getting heavy. I am getting very tired. This this requires a bunch of energy. So for now, I am going to end the recording here, and then I am going to do another recording session to finish this off, and then splice the 2 recordings together, turn it into 1 video. I got just take a break. I gotta look after my health, but so far so good. I really do love the lore and the little stories that Olimar, has, or that Olimar tells throughout, all the readings and everything like that. Very informative and very fun. So yeah, as of now, I'm gonna end this session, and I'll see you guys literally in 1 second for when I'm back, and I'm gonna finish this off then. Right now, I just need a mental break as well, so, oh god. It's just a lot, man. It's just a whole lot.
The next day.
Alright, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, it is the next day. We're gonna finish this. I got a new bottle of water. I am ready. We are going to finish this right here, right now. So let's just resume where last left off. Stoic head. The SS Dolphin 2 says this is a robot's head. It tried to initiate a conversation. Quote, if I can activate it, end quote, the Dolphin 2 explained later. Quote, maybe it will love me, end quote. SS Dolphin 2, love is not so simple. Sunset projector. Is the SS Dolphin 2 right? Is this really an artificial sun? Whatever made this must have been quite advanced, even if it does only manage the intensity of a sunset. I wouldn't be surprised if they didn't try to make it more powerful, though. A sunset is a nice thing to settle for. It's the promise of hope for another day, even if today wasn't so great. That's the spirit. Frozen stranger. It's uncertain what this object is, but the SS Dolphin 2 claims that this is a monster caught in a bubble, who was imprisoned for scary, naughty children. But my own assessment is that's nonsense. Clearly it's a veteran space traveler whose escape pod put him into cryogenic suspension until the end of time. Or it's just a jolly old fat man who gives children gifts during the middle of a Christmas night. That by itself sounds weird. Scoot over bench. According to the SS Dolphin 2, this is the head of an oversized musical instrument, but I've done enough sitting around to know a bench when I see one. It's the perfect size for a couple. Not only that, the seat is at just the right angle for 2 sitters to slide towards each other. It's practically designed to get a pair of lovebirds closer together. Fond Osphere. This crystal sphere contains an object that emits an energy that makes affections grow. I don't need it at all because I always love my family more the farther away I am. Oh no, does that mean that the closer I get to home, the more my love for my family will fade? I better ask the president to let me buy this at a discount. Humor implant. When the SS Dolphin 2 saw these, it begged me to attach them so it could learn how to be funny. I thought the idea that it could wear them at all was already a good joke. Herbivore maulers. What a find! This should rock the field of xenoarchaeology to its core. Everyone thinks of dinosaurs as vicious predators, but these teeth clearly indicate a plant-eating creature, or it's a pearl necklace. The SS Dolphin 2 has no record of this species, so that means I discovered it. That means they'll name it after me in the textbooks, right? The Alamosaurus. No, the Alamoceratops. No, wait. Olimar, just stop. Just stop. Enough is enough. The real magic. Thanks to the Pikmin and the SS Dolphin 2, we have a huge reserve of Sparklium to fuel our trip home. But when you get down to it, wasn't the real fuel the friends I made along the way? Indeed. Rarely seen cell. This curious energy cell was in a crystal cave. I'm glad that the winged Pikmin were there to help me get it. When I return to Hokote, I may write a book to show my gratitude. I'll title it Olimar's Outlandish Adventure. Ah yes, the bottle cap, the getaway vehicle. I've seen no end of dangers since arriving on this planet. Dark caves, searing flames, poison pools, that kind of thing. But none of it has set my heart racing like the giant snowball chasing me today. Yeah. Only one thing was on my mind as I ran. Faster, more intensity. My pilot's pride was stirred, I tell you. Zoo of the Future. This device is the future of zoos. The animal inside has been put into suspended animation. Oh, observe the graceful creature caught mid-prance. As for the zoo, I think that 20 Pikmin would fit in there comfortably. Unremarkable spinner. My daughter jumping on the bed woke me up. My wife warmed up breakfast in the microwave. My son was glued to the TV when I walked by. And Bulby made a mess of my shoes. Pikmin, help! Oh, it was just a very realistic dream. Beneficial intelligence. I'm finding many electronic parts on this planet. While analyzing this one, the SS Dolphin 2's demeanor was actually more pleasant than usual. Then I realized the ship wasn't talking to me at all. It was conversing with this object, which seems to have had a very good effect on the SS Dolphin 2. It's usually so disagreeable. Anti-routine screen. There's very little to do on this planet. I amuse myself by pretending to be a Pikmin by climbing up into the onion or burying myself in the dirt. Why? It definitely breaks the monotony, but I'm glad no one is around to see me. Automatic fortune teller. Whenever my wife has a problem, she consults her fortune. They say things like, when things are abundant, you must prepare for the lean times. I'm still trying to figure out how it knew I was getting a pay cut. These are so good, man. Dual wheeler. This must be a two-wheel vehicle, or half of a full one. It does remind me of riding along with my dear wife, just the two of us, singing a song happy together, much like being with Pikmin. Flatulent bauble. Its yellow sheen screams quality, or at least expensive. Someone definitely spent a lot of money on this spaceship part. Putting this on the SS Dolphin 2 will make it extremely classy. Even sitting in the most brilliant ship in space won't make it run better, or make me a more skilled pilot. What's on the inside counts more than good looks. That's why I keep my undies clean. Star-beaten jewel. We believe that this was beaten into its unique shape by a meteor shower. Come to think of it, meteor showers are the reason I crash-landed here to find it. My bad. Maybe that's what they mean about destiny being in the stars. More literal than I had always imagined, but I can't deny they've shaped both this object and my life in unexpected ways. Parting tape. When two people part, the one leaving gives the other this tape. Both hold on to it as the distance between them increases. The one left behind spools it back up to listen to the message. It's all very romantic and dramatic, not all like leaving a message on the answering machine telling my wife I'll be home later than expected, which was only anticlimactic. Classical sculpture. This majestic statue reminds me a good deal of my wife. Calm, elegant, solemn, and capable of great kindness. What in the world did a woman like that see in me anyway? I don't know, Olimar, I don't know. Thoroughbred statue. What a striking silhouette. I hope I can be noteworthy enough someday that someone sculpts a statue of me. That sounds unlikely now that I say it out loud, but a man should have his dreams. Well, technically you got your Amiibo, so yeah, you made it. Tandem sword. This ancient weapon required 2 soldiers to operate. They would maneuver it around an enemy, then run swiftly toward each other to bring the deadly blades together. I'm reminded of the pickle I often find myself in. We need to repair the house. I'm afraid we have to make cutbacks at this company. 2 blades of a deadly weapon indeed. Stuck compass. Sometimes when I take the Pikmin exploring, 1 or 2 don't come back, even when I whistle for them. If it still worked, this could be just the thing to help them with their sense of direction. I took it apart to try and get it working, but after hours of fiddling, I have to admit I have no idea what I'm doing. I've never felt so lost. Authoritative obelisk. The metal plating really adds to the sense of authority this stone gives off. In fact, it's trying a little too hard. Put on as good a show as you want. If you can't back it up, you're nothing. Wait, what am I talking about again? Tempting vision. If the image on this storage medium is anything to go by, there's quite an exciting story contained inside. Giant octopi, fire-breathing dogs. Oh, and is that a Hokotate spaceship I see in the upper left? Update. The SS Dolphin 2 has corrected my mistake. The spaceship is not, it assures me, a Hokotate design. I must be seeing what I want to see after being away from home so long. Aww. Teeny power plant. How did they shrink a gigantic power plant down to such a tiny size? What a feat of engineering. It reminds me of my first date with my wife. When I ran low on talk, she kept up the chit-chat. We've been going strong ever since. Tangerine paste. Wonderful news! I found a tube filled with tangerines, my favorite fruit, compressed into a juicy paste. But I only got a taste before the SS Dolphin 2 rushed in to tell me it wasn't food. Funny, it didn't smell like paint to me. Evernight windows. When looking through these windows, the bright sky turned to dark night. The Dark Knight. Batman! The Pikmin nearby cried out in fright. Maybe it was that there weren't any stars in the sky. Scary indeed. Training rocket. It looks like someone built a tribute to the small training ships they give you in piloting school. Mine was past its prime and had engine trouble, but I wouldn't have traded it for anything. Adversity builds character. Distortion chamber. As I entered this metal structure, I was greeted with a version of myself as a much thinner man, but it was just a trick of the light. A lot of people, myself included, have asked me why I don't go on a diet. But I think it's time to face the fact that this is just how much I weigh. So long, skinny Olimar, I'll try to forget you. God, these are freaking incredible. Single seesaw. Before to build your leg muscles on a seesaw, you really needed a trainer or a partner. But with this spring-loaded device, you can tone those trunks all on your own. It's so revolutionary that it might be worth braving the bureaucracy to patent it when I get back to Hokotate. So long as I don't need any sign off from the president, of course. Starship bones. The SS Dolphin 2 seemed reluctant to talk about this for some reason. My theory, it's a spaceship skeleton. I dropped the subject so as not to make the Dolphin 2 uncomfortable. Sunset engine. What would I be doing right now if I hadn't crash landed here? Would I be better off on Hokotate than on this planet today? Am I missed? Is it really so important that I get home? When I get lost in thoughts like these, I watch the Pikmin risking their lives to help and feel foolish. I have to focus on getting home, if for no other reason than to give their hard work a purpose. Apotheosis of balance. I've always been careful when it comes to balance, work and life, dinner and dessert. If you don't give each side its due, everything falls apart. Facts. But even I've never achieved a balance as perfect as this big ball mounted on a giant hammer. If I could get on top of it and stand on 1 foot for an hour, would I achieve enlightenment? Ornamental cycle. I returned to the landing site after today's exploration and found the Pikmin clearing weeds and pulling up stones. Their diligence is a constant surprise. Maybe I'm just a good leader? Anyway, I found this object that looks like a useless bicycle. Throw it on the sparklium pile, I suppose. And that's it! That's it! Let me just double check. Is that it? That is it. Oh, I went through all of these. Holy balls. Obviously in 2 sessions, but my god. All we have to do now is the Amiibo reading, which is 3 pages. Alright. Oh, okay. Holy crap, we're almost done, we're almost there. That was great though, I really did enjoy Olimar's notes on all the different treasures. It's always such a great time, and I feel like each game, the developers, or Nintendo, gets better and better and better with Olimar's notes. It's so fun, it's so good, and it adds to the characters and the lore, and it's so nice. I love it so much. Alright, the Amiibo log. These colorful statues must hold a lot of sentimental value, which means they also hold a lot of sparklium. Alright, let's start from the top with the Pikmin. Spellbound friends. I noticed some Pikmin in the wild, so I called out, "Hey," but there was no response. Were they under some spell? I saw some mysterious writing underneath them. Maybe if I can decipher it, I can figure out how to free them. It's probably right here, because, you know, you gotta scan the amiibo, so I guarantee you that's what it is. Oversized replica. See, Olimar, there you are. Wow, a giant statue of me. I'm both proud and a little creeped out. The SS Dolphin 2 wanted to know why it isn't included in the sculpt. But shouldn't we be more worried about how someone here knew what we looked like? Colossus and suspenders. I have a gut feeling that I share a special bond with the man depicted here. It must be the nose. His big smile and large belly tell me he's lived a full life brimming with delights. Something to aspire to. That, or both of you were created by Shigeru Miyamoto. That's probably what it is. Priceless artifact. Okay, this is Gold Mario. I better be careful with this. If the president got his hands on a giant statue of pure gold, he'll sell it before I could blink, but he can never sell the memories I have of exploring side by side with the Pikmin. I'm rich already. Aww. Great man! That's Silver Mario, or that's Metal Mario, or whatever? Really? Great man. What do you think he did to earn such a fine, gleaming statue of himself? Is anyone truly worthy of such adulation? Does crafting images like this only set impossible standards the rest of us can never live up to? Am I overthinking it? Yes, you are. Unsung hero. Let's go! He seems timid and gentle, the kind of guy who always finds himself doing the dirty work. That was me in school. I got saddled with a classroom pet, shelving books and cleanup. Saying no is an important skill to learn. Aww. That hits too close to home when I was in school. Yeah, I would just like, okay, do you need me to do this? Yeah, you got it. Yep, sure. Oh god, me, Luigi, and Olimar have so much alike. I don't know how to feel about that. Memento of love. Why is it that almost every statue of a woman I see reminds me of my wife? This one is no exception. In some statues, I see my wife's more fearsome aspects, but this one reflects her great capacity for warmth and joy. I think it's mostly the eyes. Those wide, shining eyes bring back memories when I manage to do something that surprised her in a good way. There aren't a lot of those memories, but I cherish the ones I have. It's so wholesome, man. Incomprehensible life form. This indigenous creature is one of the strangest things I've ever laid eyes on. I don't know where to start. There's a round thing in front, but it's attached to its face, so it's not an egg. Are those shoes on its feet and a red plate on its back? Or are they natural parts of its body? How does something like this creature evolve naturally? The vast old universe of ours never fails to surprise me. Olimar asking the real questions. Fashion mystery. Her dress seems too big for her, with the baggy sleeves and dragging hem. On the other hand, her face is so confident and serene that I'm sure if her dress is too big, it's only because she likes it that way. I guess so. Fearsome boss. The sharp claws and angry eyebrows remind me of a supervisor in a bad mood. I had to tell myself, it's okay, my real supervisors don't have horns, I think. Someday, I may work up the courage to look one of them in the eye. Gaudy goon. This guy is certainly robustly built. However, I'm concerned with the look in his eyes. He's definitely up to no good. Does he want fame, power, money, or something worse? Everything. Everything. We need more games with Wario being the villain. Like, some people hate that, but I love that. Like, if you go back to Wario's portrayal in Brawl, a lot of people hated Wario's portrayal in Smash Bros. Brawl, but I liked it. I love the more sinister Wario. Like, he's so greedy that he's able to do bad things to get what he wants. You know, I feel like it adds more to him. Powerful pencil pusher. It looks like the other people depicted in these statues, but it's strange and mishappen. The mouth is overlarge, the limbs long and distended, and it has hair all over its body instead only on top where it should be. On the other hand, it wears a necktie, which means it must have an office job, so I have some sympathy for it. Having to clock in and out every day is almost as bad as being caged. That's why I fly for a living. Barrel of laughs. Here's a fellow who looks like he knows how to have a good time. He's clapping and smiling at something we can't see. Maybe it's a hot performance. Groove on, little guy. Anatomical enigma. I've been staring at this statue for a while, and I'm no closer to resolving the mystery on my mind. Is that thing a hat or part of its head? I hope it's part of his head, because I just imagine what would be underneath if it was a hat, and I've given myself goosebumps. My princess! Seeing the wide grin on this statue makes me miss my daughter more. She always wakes me in the morning stomping around the house, and at night she demands that I play with her until she falls asleep. But it won't be long until she's grown and moved out on her own. That day hasn't come yet, but I get misty thinking about it anyways. Aww. Insensitive loud. I was minding my own business when the SS Dolphin 2 butted in with, "Hey, you've been through 2 crashes now. That makes you a veteran. I think of the stories you'll get to tell your children." It was annoying at the time to have my failures rubbed in like that, but maybe the SS Delvin 2 was trying to cheer me up. It's just not very good at it. What does this have to do with that? But okay. Fanged marshmallow. Yeah, that makes sense. It's a common impulse on encountering the unknown, to want to put it in a box that you understand. It's easy to insist it can't be anything else, even if that may not be true, but that's not what I'm doing when I call this a marshmallow. Business pet. I'm a little bit confused. What is this thing, a person or an animal? It seems very professional, and it's wearing a sharp outfit, so I guess it leans more towards the person side of the scale. I guess. Clearly more analysis is needed here, but even if it was just an animal, I feel like it would be a better boss than our company president. For sure. For sure. You can't go wrong with Isabel. Isabel is best boss. Imaginary friend. I'm a little bit confused. Is this a person or an animal? It seems very friendly, but that doesn't answer the question. My dog is friendlier than my boss, after all. Its pose makes it look like it's calling out to someone it knows well. When I get lonely on the planet, I like to imagine that someone is me. Oh, the conversations this friendly stranger and I would have. Hey, KK Slider. Seated strummer. The no-nonsense stare beneath those powerful eyebrows says it's no uncertain terms that this is a pro. I bet there's no style of music he can't play. If he's taking requests, I'd like to hear a song about me and the Pikmin. Uncomfortable Swaddler. A depiction of a heavy-lidded creature. I think it might be so sleepy because someone put a sweater on over its thick fur. Who would do such a thing? That's not how you treat an animal. Uniformed crew. I noticed these 2 animals are wearing the same outfit. Are they part of the same litter, or is it a mark of a particular breeder? Whatever their relationship, you can see that they get along, much like me and the Pikmin. Apron model. A statue wearing an apron. Is this some alien mannequin? I wonder how they get it on over the huge quills on the back of the head. I have my own apron that I wear while doing chores around the house. It's like a weekend uniform. Rosy Outlook Trotter. I know very little about whatever kind of animal this is, but it sure seems happy. The winged Pikmin love to play with this one. Its grin is infectious, isn't it? Or I think I'll save my smiles for when I get back to Hokate. Hair Trigger Furball. There's a slightly crazed expression on this blue creature's face. I can't tell if it's angry or just fired up. Either way, it reminds me when I wake up my wife before her alarm goes off. I think I'll just keep this statue in storage. Solemnity Party Chairman. This statue looks like no one to trifle with, but I shouldn't judge by that. Even a serious person can be known to cut loose now and then, except me. I got myself in trouble with my wife last time, and now I'm very careful. Unblinking Guilt Reflector. There's something about those eyes that seems to stare directly into your soul. I find its gaze hard to meet, especially because I blew off the SS Dolphin 2 yesterday when it needed me, and I put some Pikmin in danger today. As hard as it is to face up to these things, maybe it's good that I have a statue like this around to remind me of what I could be doing better. Look at them eyes. Those are some evil eyes. Subterranean Menace. The SS Dolphin 2 started behaving oddly after finishing its analysis of this object. That there's a warrior from the underground, you get me? Look at its weapon and helmet and all of that. This is strange, even by its standards. I hope the ship's AI hasn't caught a virus. Maybe I should reset its systems. Argyle Collector. I can tell by this unknown creature's eyes that it's a collector like me. When I was younger, I kept collections of all kinds of things. Colorful leaves, special rocks, interesting books. I guess nowadays I mainly collect ship parts and sparklium. Not as a hobby or anything, but just to survive. I miss those carefree days. Don't we all? Midnight Dreamer. Who can tell what's going on behind those black eyes? There's a lot of mystery in this creature. It looks like it thrives in darkness. I remember wanting to be nocturnal as a kid so I would have an excuse to stay up all night. I'd sit in bed with all the lights off and look out the window at the starry night sky. I think that's what first made me want to be a pilot. Inadequacy Wellspring. Just look at that stylish hat and fluffy tail. How can I compete with that? As I was wondering what else this guy has that I don't, the SS Dolphin 2 came over to say he probably doesn't dwell on trivial problems like this one. I think that's the worst I've ever been burned on this voyage. Where are the red Pikmin when I need them? Embarrassment target. Is this thing in suspended animation? Could it not have made a different face before getting frozen? And whose idea was it to dress it in that ridiculous outfit? This feels like a prank its co-workers must have played on it. I can relate to that. I felt just as foolish as on many occasions. There's just something about me, it seems, that makes people want to play practical jokes. It's nothing, Olimar. Don't worry about it. You and your goofy little stature. Don't worry about it. Painted alien. It looks like a person, but there's that tail to consider. Maybe it's an alien species we haven't encountered yet. One that wears makeup, apparently. Do advanced species like more time in the morning to apply cosmetics, or less? Alright, so we're done with Mario and Animal Crossing. Now we're moving on to Splatoon. Exhausted Soldier. Someone made a statue of a normal looking girl with a gun. Well, mostly normal. She has dark circles under her eyes, and once again, a gun. Maybe she has to fight without ever resting? I hope someday she wins her battle. Electric Lime Hairdo. I'm jealous of her hair. It's a very cool shade of green. I thought of dyeing my hair too in my younger days, but I never could decide on a color. Now I know what color I want, but I would stand out too much as the company. Such is life. Squirting Squirt. I remember when my son got a box of my favorite Pikmin carrot flavored cookies wet, playing with his water gun. I was upset at first, but now that I think back on it, it's just water under the bridge. Devious Drencher. What's that purple liquid inside the water tank? Poison? I hope that this boy isn't in over his head. He's playing with fire. Someone should tell him it's more fun to play with water. Chartreuse Arrow. What a curious creature. I don't know if it's alive, but its eyes seem alert. That might be why the Pikmin were nervous about carrying it back to the ship. They say the eyes are a window to the soul. What do the Pikmin see in mine? Uplifting Arrow. This indigenous creature doesn't budge, even if you shake it. I wasn't sure how to proceed, but after observing it for a while, I noticed it looks like an upward pointing arrow. I looked up to where it was pointed and saw the sky. I get it now. Sparkling Ingenue. Look at the statue's winning smile and fantastic poise. I was about to say pose. The SS Dolphin 2 was so enraptured while analyzing it that it burst into a song. I wanted to jump in, but the song ended before I found an opening. One must seize one's chance. And the last one! Okay, alright. The last time I have to read in this game. Chilled Out Cucumberous. Oh my god. He's calling her a cucumber. Doesn't it seem that every loud mouth has a cool, quiet partner? Maybe there's a brash go-getter out there for me somewhere. What are you waiting for, Captain Olimar? Let's go find it. Oh, right, I already have one. And that's it! That is all! I have read everything. It's all over. I read all of this. I have read everything. Oh, it's all done. I read the complete Piklopedia. Holy crap. Holy crap. It's over. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, that is a wrap on Hey Pikmin. That is all for my Hey Pikmin journey. Thank you guys so much for watching. I am so ready to finally play Pikmin 4. That is the game that you guys have been waiting for since the very beginning. I can't wait to finally play it. I've been waiting for that game as well. That's why I started the series in the first place, just to climb up the ladder to get to Pikmin 4. And we finally made it. So expect Pikmin 4 this weekend, Pikmin 4 Part 1, and thanks again so much for watching, and let me know in the comments down below if not only have you made it this far in this video, or if you're watching this right now, but let me know in the comments down below if you've been here on my Pikmin journey from the very beginning and you've seen every single episode. I'm gonna heart your comment, I'm gonna respond, I wanna give you a round of applause, and I just want to say thank you. So yeah, we got one more adventure that awaits, and that is Pikmin 4. The final adventure as of now that to conclude my Pikmin journey, and just one more adventure in general for Pikmin. But anyways, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in part 1 of Pikmin 4. So yeah, bye guys. See you guys soon.